What's up, guys? Luke back again with another Gaming Week in Review podcast, where we talk about the things that have interested us in the world of video games each and every week. Before we get started, make sure you smash that like button as well as subscribe with bell notifications turned on so you can catch me every time I do a podcast or any of the other shenanigans I do on this channel. But with that being said, let's get right into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is actually pertains to a previous video that I put on the YouTube channel, link in the cards above, where I basically talked about the differences between the pros and the cons between the PS5 and the Xbox Series X/S, and I'm just going to call it Xbox Series from now on, so just public service announcement there, just for fluidity and all that of the podcast. But I was talking about basically at the end, I keep giving away the end of this video too, but at the end I basically talked about neither is a good option for the end of 2020 and early 2021. And my reason is because a lot of us, well, I have multiple reasons, but one of my reasons was because a lot of us don't have gaming monitors that can handle next-gen consoles. So I suggested that instead of trying to fight bots online or punch a grandmother in the face to get to secure your PS5/Xbox Series, that you could just invest in a monitor this holiday season and possibly even get a pretty good deal on one. Now, after saying that, I actually started to take my own advice and I started pursuing deals on monitors that have HDMI 2.1. Remember, this is key, okay? HDMI 2.1, 4K, and did 144 or 120 hertz or better. Typical monitors usually do about typical monitors that do 120 hertz do a little more than that, and they're usually around 144 or 165. And I was unable to find any, at least under the price tag of about $1,000 or $1,100, which is way too much, in my opinion, for any sort of monitor, even the most amazing gaming monitor of all time. I just feel like that's a little too much. So I pursued for, days in and out, looking for some sort of a deal on a monitor that could do 4K, 120 hertz or better, and had HDMI 2.1. Now, the reason why you need HDMI 2.1 is because in order to put out that much, you can't just plug in any HDMI cable. And there has been some reporting that you can pull it off 4K 120 with HDMI 2, but you're maxing out the bandwidth of an HDMI cable when you're doing that. So HDMI 2.1 is what you want if you're buying a gaming monitor and you're hoping to do 4K 120 hertz out of that gaming monitor. So it's not as cut and dry as just finding a monitor that does 4K 120 hertz or better. It's more, you have to find a monitor that does that, and it supports HDMI 2.1. And all the monitors that I found, the ones that did have 4K 144 hertz, all had HDMI 2.0. So that is a big boo-boo, especially if you're investing $500. So this is kind of like these first two, this is the first of two that are kind of like, hey, wait, pump the brakes. If you're planning on doing 4K and you're planning on getting a gaming monitor to do it, you need to make sure that you're buying one that's HDMI 2.1 and not HDMI 2.0, because you may just be disappointed when the time comes. Also, you need to have, obviously, a good cable to do it. So this is just kind of me backtracking and letting my subscribers know that if you watch the other video and I planted some seeds and you've been thinking about it, you've been hunting deals for monitors, just make sure that if your hopes are for 4K 120, that you make sure that whatever monitor you buy / TV you buy supports HDMI 2.1, because you may just be in a world of pain. Moving on, I did something, I did something like sort of shady today. It wasn't shady. I'm more so I was just kind of like the helpless, like just normal citizen that's like trying to figure out good ways to track down consoles without having to dedicate a full-time job's worth of time to finding a new console. And I signed up for Creep Chief Notify today. If you don't know what Creep Chief Notify is, it was something that was actually reported on by a couple just big YouTubers as far as the gaming scene goes about a it's a bot service, that's how it was explained in these videos. And I think it was just ignorance from these YouTubers and ignorance from myself, thinking that I could pay $30 to a company and then hire bots to hang out on Walmart.com, BestBuy.com, GameStop.com, and wait for systems to go on sale and then pick them up for me. And I just basically pay a monthly subscription plus the cost of the system, and I got me a system and I didn't have to do anything for it. But, you know, against my better judgment, I went to this website and I signed up for it. So I'm just going to kind of walk you through the whole experience, and at the end of it, give you a big fat, do not do this at home. So first thing I did was I obviously went to the video where and I'm obviously not saying names, but I went to the video where I originally heard about this bot service and found the name, Googled the name, the website popped right up. It was like so easy to give them my information, and I signed up for this service, gave all my information, and put in all the numbers, and it's like, boom, you're done. You've paid for it. It didn't even have me sign up for the website or like make an account or anything. It just took my money, and I'm like, okay, this is a little different. Usually you have to register your account and sign up and things like that. Took my money right away, and then right after it took my money, I'm like in a daze. It snatched my money, I'm like in a daze, and I look up at the top of the site and it says, it looks like you may need to be on the US site. I signed up for the EU site. I feel like an idiot right now. So I clicked on the US site and I went over there and I paid again because I'm a freaking retard. I paid again. I'm like, you know what? I'll pay again. I'll backtrack later. I'm sure they'll understand. They'll refund my EU account that I accidentally paid for, and then I'll just have the US account. We'll figure it out as we go. So I sign up for it. Same thing. They don't have you register. They just send you the email. You go to your email. It feels shady at that point. You're like, okay, now we're leaving names out of it. There's really not a whole lot of paper trail. You got to sign up from your email. So like I'm get a couple emails, and I open one of them, and it's basically, here's your code, click this link. I click the link, and it basically pulls up a YouTube video, and it shows you how to set up your account. So you have to copy your customer code over and then put it in, and it's basically a Discord server. I paid $40 to be a part of a Discord server. $40 a month is what they charge to be a part of a Discord server that's filled with scalpers that want to buy Nikes when they go on sale. Not a bot. Not buy a bot so that they can buy this system for you because you're a hard-working 9-to-5er that, doesn't have time to try and track down consoles. Nope, it's a Discord server, and it basically does the exact same thing that Wario64 does on Twitter. So, I got scammed. I went into the bot section. I started talking around. It seems like a lot of people are getting scammed by this. They're basically going into it thinking, oh, here, the same thing that I thought. Well, I can't, like, I don't want to deal with the other side of trying to track one down, and I hate that I can't get one online because bots scoop it up. So if we can't beat them, might as well join them if it's affordable. And $40 a month, I thought, was a worthy investment to be able to secure a PS5 and an Xbox Series X to make content for you guys. Well, I was naive. So was a lot of people. There was a whole area, like there's a bunch of, channels in the Discord server, and there's one that's bots, and I just clicked on that one. I'm like, does anyone know how I can, hire a bot to get me a PS5? And there was like 3 or 4 other people that were in the same thing, saying the same stuff. Nope, you're screwed, buddy. Hey, can I get my money back? Nope, you're screwed, buddy. I call the bank. Hey, is there any way you can stop the transaction? No, you're screwed. So I lost about $70. But let my losses be your gain. Don't sign up for this crap. Don't even give in to these companies that are, making it sound like they're going to help you with bot services. It's not worth these consoles. But I wanted to try it and see, the way I looked at it was, if I get a console, awesome. Now I can help people when they come into the store and they're like, hey, Luke, how do I get a PS5 for my son for Christmas? I can give them good information. But it didn't turn out that way. It did turn out that way. Now I get to tell everyone from the top of the mountain to not sign up for any of these bot services. Literally, you get the same service. Go to Twitter. This is like, you can get the same service I paid $40 for by going to Twitter and following Wario64. I'll put a link in the description. Go check out Wario64, follow it, hit the notifications bell. That bot is on top of everything involving PS5 and Xbox Series X. As soon as they find out things are live, it does an automatic post on Twitter. And you better believe it, these things are selling out quick. But if your notifications are on and you're on top of it, I think you could totally get a PS5 or a Series X, and you don't have to pay anything extra for it. So, another public service announcement. Don't sign up for crepchiefnotify or any other bot sort of services. They're scams. They don't work. And maybe with the bot stuff, maybe if you're like doing sneaker sales, like you buy Jordans when they go on sale and you flip them and resell them, maybe then a bot service is worth it. But if you're just trying to get one thing, a PS5, you're going to pay an arm and a leg to get it anyways. And you might as well, if you're going to pay an arm and a leg, you might as well just buy it from a scalper on eBay. At least you have your buyer protection from eBay. And, it's your money. It's a capitalist economy. You can do whatever you want with your money. And the person that's reselling an item can sell it for however much they want. And they maybe looked at scumbags, and in a lot of cases, I kind of agree. But it is what it is. It's the position that we're at with just modern day new tech. Stuff sells out, supplies are limited, and you either pay in time and effort and blood, sweat, and tears trying to track one down yourself, or you pay monetarily to get one from a scalper. So you pick your poison. Moving on, Xbox Series X and S emulation has recently been kind of spreading throughout the internet. People are remembering, and I actually knew about this, I just never really talked about it on the YouTube channel. People are remembering that you can actually use the Xbox One for emulation of a bunch of different emulators through their dev kit. They actually have a I think it's a $20 app on their Microsoft Store where you can download it. You pay for it, download it, and then you can unlock developer mode on your Xbox One. And basically, the homebrew community figured out how to use the developer mode to load emulators and different homebrew applications like Doom and things like that onto the Xbox One. Now, that was all good and well, but with console emulation, a lot of the time, the thing that holds it back is CPU power isn't really that great on consoles. It's more of a PC thing and a phone thing or tablet. But with consoles, CPU power usually takes, back seat to GPU power. So emulators have been around for a very long time on systems and through modding, but they've been sort of limited. Now, with the Xbox Series X and Series S, we have a totally new situation because they've now increased that CPU power. So it's almost sort of, spec to spec or, maybe a little like that with GPU power. So you have that extra CPU power. So now it's really unlocked a lot of possibilities for emulation on these new systems. And man, is it impressive. These systems are now running GameCube, PS2, and they already do original Xbox because of the Xbox's backwards compatibility. So they're now running basically everything from original Xbox, PS2, GameCube, and down, all the way through 64, PS1, Sega Saturn, Sega Genesis, NES, Super Nintendo, forgetting one of my favorites, and a bunch more, MAME, all that stuff on an Xbox Series X. So it just keeps getting better and better, sweeter and sweeter to own a Xbox Series X or Series S because of this developer mode. So I don't know. I would love to try it. Obviously, for my previous story, I don't have a Series X or S, but I would love to fire one up and try to put these emulators on it and do a video on it. So if you want to see a video on that, let me know in the comment section, and I will definitely get on getting a Series X because, gosh, personally, I want to see it myself. I think it would be a pretty fantastic gaming console if it could do PS2, GameCube, and original Xbox and down. I think that would be the best emulation box / current gen console that's out there because of that. So great things for retro gamers if you like to run emulation and you have an Xbox Series S or X, go check the developer mode out and fire up God of War. See how it is on your PS2. Limited run games. This week, just like every week, we got our limited run just new news for the week. And as always, we start with last chance games. We only have one last chance game this week. It's called Corpse Killer. It's an FMV old school game, sort of like the old Sega CD games and some Sega Saturn / PS1 games, where it was a pre-recorded video, and you interact with the video. That's what an FMV game is. And this game is basically a zombie sort of like Dead Island sort of theme to it. It's going to be a Switch-only release because they actually released the PS4 version earlier last year. So this one's only for Switch. It's going to have a standard and collector's edition, and the last day to get it is November 29th. So at the time of this recording, because I'm late because of Thanksgiving, that's tomorrow. So hopefully we can get this out for you guys in time. And if not, and you're bummed out about it, I just want to encourage you once again, check out my live stream. I stream every Thursday, Friday, Saturday evening at Facebook Gaming. Link in the description below. Come hang out. Come and chill with us. We'd love to have you. And new this week, we got some good stuff for this week, guys. First things first, we have Trover Saves the Universe. This was a PSVR platformer that was originally, so it was originally a PlayStation exclusive, and this is now being ported over to Nintendo Switch, where I personally think it fits very, very well. Although the PSVR offers way more as far as immersion for this game, the Nintendo Switch is a great second location to kind of try this one out. The story and voice acting are done by the Rick and Morty creator Justin Roiland. So if you like Rick and Morty, you're going to love the humor of this game. It's very much so like Rick and Morty sort of humor, sort of like overly, amateur sort of like talking, and you know how he does it. So it's very funny. You're gonna absolutely be cracking up while you play this, and you can have a physical copy that you're cracking up to. It's gonna be a Switch only release, like I said. It's gonna have a standard edition that is going to be $39.99, kind of steep, but it is a more of a higher budget title. And it's going to have a collector's edition that is only $64.99. The Trover Saves the Universe Collector's Edition, I'm going to go down all the things that it comes with, is limited run number 90, Trover Saves the Universe, obviously the game for Nintendo Switch. A reversible Trover Papercraft, featuring it's going to be also featuring Justin Roiland's Trover sketch. Stickers, reversible 18 by 24 poster, Trover enamel face pin with removable eye babies, two eye baby blind boxes containing a set of removable eye babies for the pin. This is all related to the game as well, guys, so just kind of a heads up on that. If you haven't played Trover Saves the Universe, a lot of this stuff is related to that. And lastly, this one is going to be a 4-week pre-order for the collectors and the standard, so no need to rush. Although, I usually found with this stuff, if I don't go over right away when I see it, I'll forget about it. Just like the Ori collector's edition that I talked about a few podcasts ago. I still haven't grabbed that, and I want to get it because I love Ori, but it is a little spendy. It's like $150. So hopefully I do go and get that, but it's easy to forget this stuff. So just because you got 4-week cushion, guys, doesn't mean you should wait. If you have the money and you like this game and you want to own it physically, go and get it. Next game for new this week is really a special one to me, and one that I really, really, really want to get. Actually, both these ones that are we're about to talk about. But the first one is Shadow of the Ninja. This is a re-release Ninja Gaiden / Shinobi clone for the NES. So, keyword, re-release. This was a game that released on the NES, but is highly, highly, highly difficult to find in the modern market. And it's very expensive. Well, not very, very expensive. It's like $60, $70. But it's a very much so like Ninja Gaiden game. It feels very much so like a Ninja Gaiden sort of game. It comes with a standard edition that is $54.99 and a collector's edition that's $84.99. And I need to note that this is, yes, an NES cartridge in 2020, NES cartridge that you can plug in your original Nintendo and it plays. So, really cool. Anytime this happens, it gets me really excited, gets me jacked, and I want to invest in it because I want to see more of this, especially for 64, because 64 can take as many games as it can get at this point. The collector's edition is going to come with a, forgive me on the names, pixel art Hayate and Kaende portrait pin set. So basically, it's just the pixel art from the game of the two main characters. An acrylic standee, a commemorative premium metal coin, kind of cool. 22-song physical CD soundtrack, always cool to see bundled with a collector's edition. As always, a reversible 18 by 24 poster. Playable Shadow of the Ninja NES cartridge with classic packaging. The packaging looks really sharp. It's a original NES looking box. Instruction booklet, yay! I'm sure it's probably full color manual. We'll find out when it comes out. Limited run dust sleeve as well, so sort of like the original Nintendo dust sleeves that they put on the old school games. This one's going to have one that just says limited run on it. Really awesome. It's going to be a 4-week pre-order, and it's available right now. Last one for limited run, guys. We have the Return of the Ninja. This is a very much so like a sort of a side release, maybe not a sequel. Well, maybe it is a sequel, but it's sort of a side release because it's not on NES. It's actually on the Game Boy Color, and this game is the same thing. It's a re-release of a Ninja Gaiden / Shinobi clone, but this one's for Game Boy Color. It's a physical Game Boy Color cart, which is awesome. Once again, when these get released, it's really just fun to rally around them. And this one is expensive. I did some searching on eBay. This game runs for about $150 for just the loose cart. So this is a great opportunity, sort of like the Shantae game that I talked about a few podcasts back, to get these games for an affordable price and sort of have a second chance at it. Yeah, it's not the original cart. Yeah, it probably won't ever be worth the same amount as the original cart, but it's a neat way to legally obtain this game and be able to enjoy it. So there's that. It's going to have a standard edition and a collector's edition. Standard edition is $44.99. Collector's edition is $74.99. And inside the collector's edition, you get an 18x24 poster, usually, really as always, oh my gosh, Tsukikage and Sayuri matching pixel art pin set, sort of like the other one. Premium metal coin, like the other one. A 16-song physical CD soundtrack, a few more songs. Playable version of Return of the Ninja in classic Game Boy Color packaging with a retro transparent cartridge. And sort of asterisk next to that, for the Game Boy Color and for the NES, two games that are getting released here, they both have the option to go to like original style packaging or sort of the packaging with a little more flair. With the Game Boy Color release, you can pick between translucent or black. I think the black looks pretty cool. On the NES, you can choose between blue and gray. I'm a sucker for the original gray. I know, how unoriginal, but I just like my NES games to be gray, so I'm probably going to grab the gray one, but you do have the option to get either blue or gray. So when you're checking out, just make sure you pick the one that you actually want in the checkout before you fully buy it. And then lastly, it does come with an instruction booklet, probably full color, and this one is once again a 4-week pre-order. And that's going to do it for our limited run news and for our podcast. And but before we end, obviously we have the comment of the freaking week. It's the comment of the week. It's the comment of the week. Comment of the week, and the comment of the week this week is from Yugoslav Video Game Nerd, and guys, I will link his YouTube channel in the description. It seems like I do this a lot of shilling of other people's channels, and I love it. So keep on commenting, guys. I'll shill your channel, and I know you guys aren't commenting just so you can get a shout out. I know it's out of your genuineness. You wanna talk about what I'm talking about. So I don't mind sharing your guys's YouTube channels, but Yugoslav does a lot of, I think I've promoted him before, does a lot of live streams on YouTube, of various different games, retro stuff, new stuff, mainly RPG stuff, but also some platformers, hack and slashes, just a little bit of everything, a lot of Japanese stuff. So definitely a cool channel to check out if you like Let's Plays / live streams. I'll have his YouTube channel linked in the description. And what he said when he was commenting on last week's podcast was, I thought Cyberpunk 2077 was going to win, then it got delayed 3 times within a year, a new record for a game to be delayed in 1 year. And then he followed up with 007 should have just a digital release. So first of all, Yugoslav, thank you so much for your comment. Really appreciate your involvement down in the comments and just kind of sparking the conversation and being a part of the channel in that way. So thank you so much. And I wanted to, so as far as Cyberpunk 2077 goes, it all goes back to the old, I believe it was Miyamoto quote, a delayed game is bad for a while, but a bad game is bad forever. And, Cyberpunk 2077, I actually responded to this in the comments and said, it's either game of the year or bust for Cyberpunk 2077. When that game comes out, if it does not sell a tremendous amount of games and win game of the year, I feel like this game at this point is a total bust because they've been talking about this game for an entire generation and it's just now about to be released. From what I've seen, it seems like it is super above and beyond anything we've ever experienced before. But I've also seen games that were too ambitious and went too far turn out to be not quite as good as you would think, i.e. maybe Death Stranding. So this one's not a guarantee. It's gonna be great. Definitely gonna be a part of Game Awards 2021. But in my opinion, if this thing doesn't win Game Award 2020 or Game of the Year 2021 at the Game Awards, it's a bust, total bust. If it doesn't sell multiple millions of copies, bust. I definitely think it's going to sell very well. I know I'm excited to try it out. It's sort of a GTA sort of game, and I'm not like the biggest GTA player. Shoot me. I just don't really get into. I think it's just a little too much for me. It's too over the top with the hookers and the strip clubs and all the crap you can do, and I think it's just too much for a video game. But that's my personal opinion. A lot of people love GTA, and I think a lot of people will like Cyberpunk 2077. So we'll have to see. As far as 007 goes, I would hate for this game to only have a digital release. I mean, of all games that have only a digital release, it would suck to not be able to put 007 on my bookshelf while I'm playing it because it just looks nice on the bookshelf, maybe next to other 007 games or next to 007 movies of the past. I would absolutely hate for the physical media to die with 007. So I totally disagree with that, Yugoslav, but I really do appreciate your opinion. Regardless of digital or physical, I'm really excited for this game to come out. It's probably quite a few years off, but maybe we'll be surprised, maybe a little sooner rather than later, but I am really excited to dive into a new 007 game with a wholly original story of James Bond's origins. It just sounds great. It's by the same company that does secret agent sort of games in the Hitman games. So I think IO Interactive is going to have a blast with this one. And I think this game may be in Game Awards in the future. So we'll have to see. But that's going to do it for this week's podcast, guys. Thank you so much. And if you got value out of this video, do me a big favor and smash like, as well as subscribe with bell notifications turned on so you can catch me every time I post a new podcast. And lastly, I would love to hear from you guys. What do you think about my monitor issues? Are you going to buy a new monitor or are you going to wait for 4K 120 hertz 2.1 HDMI to be a thing? And then what do you guys think about my pursuit of the bot service? Am I a scumbag for wanting to get a PS5 the easy way, or am I just a silly idiot? Let me know in the comment section down below. But until next time, guys, Luke from 8-Bit Plus signing out, and I'll see you in the next one. God bless.